In any culture, I'm only interested in whatever is unspecific about it, in that part that communicate with other systems, right, which are translatable and exchangeable. This is basically the only thing I'm interested in basically any system. And I think this really shows in all the three pieces. Just to give you an example, right? One of the pieces deals with Theodor Adorno's last lecture in Frankfurt. In Adorno, I think there's really a very concrete action that's being suggested, the impasse, let's say, between theory and action. But for me, mostly, the gray layer of paint is a photographic layer. So my idea was that the gray layer of paint is basically the only witness of this event. It's like a photographic layer. It has somehow recorded the event, but as a monochrome, it was completely unfocused, like an unfocused photograph. Tried to map not the totality, but the system, the dynamics of global events that took place at that time. So this was about making it as unspecific as possible. And this is also the case with the other work you mentioned, the museum as battlefield, which is also about a very specific event. The museum where this video was premiered was actually financed by the same people that produced the ammunition that I found on the site, right? So this is how I developed this idea of a bullet that was flying in circles, that was shot in different places, but basically flying in circles from battlefield to different museums and then back again to the battlefield, right? And I think the flying of this invisible bullet is a central element of what is being referred to as circulationism. I always tried very hard to keep writing and other ways of, video, in fact, to keep that as separate as possible in order not to collapse. But then I realized that basically the material base had already collapsed. So basically, if I write on a computer or if I film something on a camera, it's always going to end up to be the same bits and pieces of data, right? So in a way, on the level of the material I work with, these distinctions have already vanished. My new work deals with this idea very strongly that basically all we do, all we say, our movements, our moods, our affects are being captured as energy, as sunshine, no? We're living in a world that is now based on sunshine. Everything is now being transformed and captured as sunshine, whether it's words, whether it's images, whether it's basically emotions or affects.